You take off your shirt after showering, look in the mirror, and your chest is still exactly the same as it was last month. Your arms have grown, your shoulders have broadened, your chest hasn't. You increased the weight on the bench press, added another plate. You're already lifting a weight that impresses whoever trains next to you. And yet, that area in the middle of your body remains flat, without volume, without separation. You change exercises, you change workouts, you change gyms. And nothing. Pay attention now, because this changes everything. It's not your fault. Seriously. Most people who have been training chest for years have never really trained chest. They've trained shoulders and triceps while holding a barbell. Nobody explained that the pectoral muscle only grows when it's the primary mover in the movement, not a supporting muscle that helps a little. You did what you were taught, diligently, week after week. The problem is that the method was wrong from day one. In the next few minutes, you will receive 6 corrections that will make your pectoral muscles respond to stimulation again. None of them require expensive supplements, new equipment, or more time at the gym. They are all adjustments to technique and biological signals. And the last one is the simplest of all. It's precisely because it's simple that almost everyone ignores it. The first correction is what I call the scapular lock. The problem it solves is the most common of all, the shoulder stealing the work from the chest. When you lie on the bench with your back loose and push the bar, the shoulder joint rolls forward and the anterior deltoid, that round muscle in front of the shoulder, takes over. The pectoralis major becomes an assistant. There's a simple mechanical explanation for this. The pectoralis major only generates efficient force when its origin point, which is the sternum, is stable and away from its insertion point, which is on the humerus. If the scapula slides forward, this distance decreases and the muscle loses tension even before you push. Do this. Before lifting the bar from the rack, pull your shoulders back and down, as if you wanted to tuck your scapula into your back pocket. Lock in this position and don't release it throughout the entire set. It will seem like your chest is puffed out. That's exactly what you want. A locked chest means a working chest. The second is the forgotten long phase. It solves the problem for those who do quick repetitions, pushing forcefully and letting the weight drop on the way down. Here comes a mechanism that exercise science has been studying with great interest in the last decade: stretch-mediated hypertrophy. In other words, the muscle receives the greatest growth signal not when it is contracted, but when it is stretched under load. It is at that moment when the bar descends and the chest opens that the mechanical sensors inside the fiber trigger the signal that that tissue needs to get stronger. If you descend in half a second, you erase the signal. So control the descent in 3 seconds, let your chest truly open, feel the stretch, and only then push. You will need to take weight off the bar. Take it off. The stimulus resides in the descent. The third correction is the angle of the upper part. The problem here is the chest growing at the bottom while remaining empty in the clavicle region, creating that sagging chest look even in those with muscle mass. The pectoral muscle is not a single uniform muscle. It has a clavicular portion, which originates from the clavicle and works best when the arm moves diagonally from bottom to top, and a sternocostal portion, activated in the horizontal plane. If you only do bench presses, you're feeding one portion and completely neglecting the other. The correction is to set the bench incline between 30 and 45 degrees and start the workout there, when you are still rested and strong. An incline greater than that transfers the work back to the shoulder. Start incline, finish flat. Before Wednesday, I need to tell you something that connects all of this. Notice that none of these corrections involve training more. It involves understanding how the body interprets the stimulus you give it. And this applies to everything: gaining muscle, losing fat, having energy. That's exactly why I organized the White Protocol, a practical guide for those who want to lose weight or gain muscle by integrating what neuroscience, physiology, and behavioral psychology have discovered about the human body. Things that no personal trainer has ever taught you. If you think you need a gym, expensive supplements, or an extreme diet to transform your body, you're wrong. Real transformation is triggered by biological mechanisms that most people completely ignore. Contrary to what the fitness industry sells, the body doesn't respond to simple rules. It responds to signals, rhythms, and hormones. And if you want to unlock your results and build the body you've always wanted, click the link in the bio or the pinned comment and get the White Protocol now. When you understand the rules, you're in control. Now for the fourth correction: the pause that eliminates momentum. It solves the bouncing problem. You lower the bar, it touches your chest, your rib cage returns the weight like a spring, and you lift using that return. It looks like strength. It isn't. There's something called the stretch shortening cycle. When a muscle is stretched and immediately shortened, the tendons and elastic tissues return stored energy, like a stretched elastic band. This reduces the work of the muscle fiber precisely at the most important point of the movement. The correction is to pause for a full second with the bar touching your chest without releasing the tension, and only then push. The load will drop again. The stimulus will increase significantly. Short pause, long-lasting result. The fifth is the timely stimulus. The problem is training chest once a week and spending the other 6 days with the muscle at rest. After a workout, the body increases the rate of muscle protein synthesis, which is the process of building new fibers using the proteins from your diet. This process remains elevated for about 36 to 48 hours and then returns to normal. If the next stimulus only arrives on the 7th day, you've spent almost 5 days without building anything. Divide the volume you do at once into 2 sessions a week, with at least 2 days of rest between them. Less per workout, more often. 2 stimuli surpass a heroic effort. And the 6th is the simplest of all, the chest that grows while sleeping. The problem is thinking that muscle grows in the gym. It doesn't. In the gym, it's damaged. Reconstruction happens during deep sleep, when the body releases most of the day's growth hormone and reduces cortisol, the stress hormone that hinders tissue recovery. Sleeping 5 or 6 hours a night disrupts this entire cycle, and no amount of execution correction can compensate for that. Darken the room completely. Remove your cell phone from the bedside table and establish a fixed bedtime, even on weekends. 7 to 9 hours, every day. You don't need to train more, you need to recover better. Now answer me in the comments, which of these 6 are you going to test in your next chest workout? The scapular lock, the controlled descent, the inclined angle, the pause, the doubled frequency, or sleep? Write the number below, because I read them all and I like to know where the biggest mistake is among those who follow me. If you've made it this far, you've already grasped the central idea. The body doesn't respond to effort, it responds to the right signal. Applying this to your chest is just the beginning. Applying it to your entire body is what changes your life. Grab the white protocol from the link in my bio or the pinned comment and stop training in the dark. The difference between those who try and those who transform has never been willpower. It's always been information. Today, you already have yours. Use it.